asleep amidst the trees. Bats all are swaying in the breeze. But when the soul lies anxious, wide awake, fearing all manner of ghouls, hags and wraiths. For your dolly Polly sleep has flown, don't dare let her tremble alone. For the witcher, heartless cold, paid in coin of gold. He comes, he'll go, leave naught behind but heartache and woe. Deep, deep woe. It's all silent for the night. Hours turn in as daylight dies. But when the soul light lunches wide awake, fearing all manner of ghouls, hags and wraiths, my dear darling.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Haunted Connection show. So we're bringing this to you from the Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre in Hinckley, Leicester, and we are sponsored by Sims Vintage Antiques in Warren near Stratford. So big welcome to everyone. Tonight we're going to be talking about witches and pagans and anything else that takes your fancy, and we're going to be answering any of your questions. So as usual, if you've got any comments, any experiences, anything that you want to share with us, then put it all in the comments and we will go from there. So one of the reasons why we thought we'd discuss this tonight is because Julie and myself, that's Neil's wife, Julie and myself went off for the weekend to the first Witches and Pagans Festival. Neil also went off for the weekend being a celebrity guest speaker. I'm not sure if we have to salute or courtesy now, but
wow. I'm okay with bowing.
Neil went off doing something else. So yeah, so we're interested in your thoughts and what you think about a Witches and Pagans Festival.
Okay, we've got the first question from Caroline. Caroline says, what is paganism?
Paganism. So pagans are defined as in people who worship more than one god. So like your Norse, the Norse men, they worship more than one god, like Odin and Thor and Loki, and there's lots of other gods that they worship. And the same with our pagans. We used to worship the sun and the horned god and other gods, the Mother Earth. So we were worshipping more than one god. So when Christianity came in, even the Egyptians could be considered as pagans because they worshipped more than one god. And that's how you would sort of define paganism. Whereas Christianity, that the rule in there is that you only worship one god. Hope that sort of clarifies.
Very well done, Jane. I'm glad you stepped into that bit. So my belief is the Christians stole a lot of the pagans' festivals. Is that right?
Yeah, they did.
And she's drinking the tea now, look.
Yeah. I've had a hard day. Yeah, things like Easter, which was Oster, they stole that, which is like the coming of the spring. Also, the winter solstice, they stole that as Christmas because on the 22nd day of December, which is the shortest day, as everybody knows. That's the winter solstice, and that used to be a big celebration for the pagans. But the Christians did sort of steal it, and they then moved it to Easter being the rising of Christ, because with it being the shortest day, and with the sun being on the horizon, you couldn't see the sun for 3 days. So when the sun rose after 3 days, it was like a rebirth, and this is where some of the story of Jesus came from, because the sun died, the son of the gods, if you like. The son died, and he was sort of dead for 3 days, and then he rose on the third day, which would have been the 25th of December. So that was the birth of Christ, as they did it, and they sort of jumbled it all up, made it all fit so that they could control the masses, and we've been believing in it ever since.
Well, that sounds a little bit controversial there, Jay.
I know. I don't know how to shorten it. It's quite a complex subject, but I don't know how to shorten it.
We're going to let some people say hello. I won't say hello to you all, but hello to you all. Thanks for watching. Okay, another comment. Annette says, "Spot on, Jane." Yeah. I totally agree with Jane anyway. Caroline says, "Oh wow, you lucky thing, Jane. Bet it was fab." So let's carry on about your weekend then, Jane. Was it interesting? Did it open your eyes?
What? I'm going to say I've never been to a gathering of people where but I have as such, because we go up the centre and such, and I have mixed with spiritual people. But going to this event, we arrived on Friday. The event started 9 o'clock Saturday morning, so we stayed in the caravan for 2 days. It was fantastic. We had the caravan right on the back of the stall, because I did my stall, Julie did her stall, and there was lots of other stalls there of stuff. And it was just absolutely amazing to be with like-minded people. The atmosphere and the energy in the place was just amazing, because everybody was just in such a positive vibe. There was no grief, no hassle, everybody was sort of open-minded, and you'd be seeing like pixies and elves walking by, and there'd be witches and warlocks and Vikings, and there'd be, it was just absolutely amazing, and people could just dress how they felt, which matched their spirituality or their beliefs, and it's a brilliant weekend. I absolutely loved it.
Oh, good. I did see ages ago. I saw an advert for the weekend, and on somewhere near the bottom it says they did things at night time. I don't know if you and Julie went to the things at night time. Julie's not told me where you go to at night time.
No,
it says some of the witches' festivals or witches
rituals. The rituals.
It did say clothing optional.
Well, we didn't get to jump over any of the fires naked. No, nobody wants to see that. But with the rituals, they were pretty much fully booked. All day Saturday, all day Sunday, there was workshops, rituals, there was Viking battles, there was reenactments, there was fire eaters, and there was so much stuff going on. And all the workshops and all the rituals at night time were all fully booked. Most people had pre-booked them online. So me and Julie didn't actually get to go on any, because they were all booked. But we will try and make sure that we will. But one of the rituals was really deep in the woods, and you had to go on one of them little seaside trains to get to it. Yeah. So there was all these sort of witches and that all sort of going along on this little train. It was into the woods, but it was brilliant.
So what was it? Was it disguised as a broomstick?
No, it was a train.
Okay.
We can drive trains as well.
Okay, Annette says, "I bet it was fabulous. I would love to go to one."
Yeah, so well, the next one. Oh, I'm going to say the next one is next May, 7th to the 8th of May. They're going to be doing them biannually, so May and September. This event will be held twice a year. and I can imagine it growing so much because everything was sold out, and the amount of people that were just coming along and just saying how nice it is for something to recognize their beliefs, their religions, their mixing with like-minded people. Because when you're a bit weird, like we you think you're sort of a bit like the only one, and you're a bit sort of I suppose isolated really in that.
Yeah.
But being amongst all the other weirdos, it was great.
Anne says it was straight from Harry Potter.
No, it wasn't that. No, it was like the little seaside train that you get and the kids like thing is at the seaside. There's only like 4 seats in each carriage, and the train's only like 3 foot tall.
Okay, more comments, which are great. Caroline says, "Where was it, Jane? Please."
It's at the Heart of England Conference Centre, which is near Forlongley, and it's run by the Coven of Gaia. So it was look out for stuff for them. When I get some notifications, I'll be sharing it on my page and stuff anyway, because I just think if you're into this sort of thing, it's just an amazing experience.
I would imagine there's not a lot of places you can go with like for this sort of thing without being careful what you say. And Net comes with this comment: celebration with no dogma shoved down your throat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very true. Because I imagine being weird, you have to be careful sometimes what you say and where.
Well, it's like us up at the centre, isn't it? Look at all this different stuff that we discuss up at fairies, up at the centre. With it being fairies and ghosts and Ouija boards and all these other things that people want to discuss and experience, but you can't really just go to work and discuss all this stuff with one of your work colleagues because they're just going to think you're bonkers. But it's just nice to talk with like-minded people about all these things, about spells and smudging, and how do you start and how do you get into spell casting and how do you meditate and how do you connect with your guides and how do you go more advanced. One guy said to me, he says, because I've got all my poppets on the front of the desk, and he said to me, "Do you sell the pins that go with the poppets?" He says, "Because this one looks just like my ex-wife."
Did you all find one?
Pardon?
Did you go and find a pin?
No.
Oh,
I was being nice. But it was good fun.
Yeah, okay. And that says, I think the alternative is getting bigger. More seem to be open to it now. I think paganism is growing.
Yeah.
I think that's been recorded somewhere, hasn't it?
Yeah, but I spoke to a lot of people, and it's more than that. It's like a calling within. And I've had this sort of calling a long time ago, and you're almost compelled to do it. You're almost compelled to get on this path and do the best that you can on this path. And you know your path because you know when it's the feeling is right, when you're on the right path. And there were so many people that were coming in and talking to us about all this sort of stuff. There were people coming in that was they were sort of learning, and they'd been steered away from Ouija boards and all this sort of thing. So while I was serving lots of people, I was also talking about, spirit and ghosts and Ouija boards and trying to give people as much help and advice as I could. People really do want to learn, and people are getting this calling where they want to go back to nature. They don't want to be in this oppressive, sort of society where we're being manipulated and everything is sort of controlled. We want that freedom of being able to get back to nature.
Yeah, that's the big word, isn't it? We are being controlled. And like you say, a lot of people don't want it now. They've seen through it now, haven't they?
Yeah.
After a couple of thousand years of being controlled, I think people are starting to wise up. Okay, and that says, it's spiritual. We are being called to go and be who we are supposed to be.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
our souls. And I believe that this is why there is so much sort of depression and unhappiness and anxiety, because people aren't feeding their soul. They're not getting out there and doing what they should normally do. As people, as a spiritual being, we're not really meant to live like this.
No, no. We're certainly not meant to live. You get up, go work, come home, have your tea, go to bed, get up, go work. That's not what
Yes.
we're about, is it, surely?
No, and having your life constantly controlled by technology.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, so we touched on pagans. What about the witches? Was there lots of witches there?
Yeah, there was. It did make me laugh a bit when sort of reading through the information. It says if you want to talk to any of the staff, they will be easily recognised as they will all be wearing purple cloaks. So you know who the staff were because they were all walking around in purple cloaks. So it was
Yeah.
great, But you don't get that every festival you go to. So
I bet you were in your element, weren't you?
Oh, I was just so excited. I was just, and for the witches and the pagan thing, I don't like to put anything in a defined box. To me, it's all combined. It's all related. The witches and the pagans and the fairies, and we have all this conversation. Witchcraft and fairy magic is very, very closely related. It was just a great thing. It was just a great place to be. And when you see fairies walking by with like their fairy ears on and their wings, it's great.
Okay, another couple of comments. One says people are recognizing the control. People are going back to nature and doing what they feel they need to do, protecting nature and others.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely agree there. Annette says, I just want to be the woman that lives in the woods, so don't mind what they call me.
Yeah, true. That'd be me.
That sounds very good to me, living in the woods.
Put me in a little hobbit's house, I'd be all right.
Hobbit's house. Okay, then. So, were the white witches and black witches, or are there black witches and white witches?
Well, this is one of the things that people were sort of coming in because I don't know whether I was just sort of drawing these people because as people were asking questions as such, and I was talking to people, I think people were listening, and then people had a question, and I ended up talking quite a bit to people about all this different stuff. And one of them was saying, well, am I a garden witch or am I a green witch? And I said, just forget all that. Forget any labels, any boxes and stuff like that. Just do what you feel you're drawn to, because I don't consider myself as any sort of witch. I just like to be a universal sort of thing. I don't want to restrict myself with anything. I don't want to shut anything out. I don't want to I want to be open and available to everything. So I think trying to put yourself in a box and trying to find your identity that way isn't the right way to go. You've just got to work your magic and see where it leads you.
So do you think that is even now a little bit of a problem, that people still kind of working in the controlled way, because we've been doing this for hundreds of years, that they've got to break away from this control? You're either a white witch or hedge witch or black witch.
Yeah, I think so. You could be any or all of them. You don't have to put yourself in a box. You don't have to feel that you're restricted because you're that type of witch that you can't do that or you can't do this. Just open it all up. Forget the labels, forget the boxes. Just do what you want to do, what you're drawn to.
Yeah.
And your magic will flow much better.
Yeah. And that says, magic is magic. There is no black and no white. It's the person's intentions using it.
Yeah.
This is true. Okay. Adrian says, find Christianity more of a business, not a religion. Spiritual paganism more natural and refreshing.
Yeah.
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 If you once you get to know me and Jane, we are not religious at all. I've seen pictures of the Pope, but if you're religious, that's fine. We can still be friends. But when I see pictures of the Pope sitting on a solid gold chair worth millions, if not billions of pounds, preaching that we should feed the poor. Something's wrong. So to me, something's wrong somewhere.
God loves you, but he always needs your money.
Okay. Von says, I think people are learning lessons from the past, such as witchcraft. It is not viewed as a negative anymore. People are accepted whatever they choose to be. It doesn't have to be in separate groups. That is very true.
Yeah.
Amy says, evening Pops and Jane, didn't miss much. You've missed loads, Amy. It's just not good enough being late on parade again. Annette says, please, not the Pope, don't get me started. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about religion.
No.
Okay then, so that was your weekend. So you'd recommend it to anybody?
Oh, absolutely. You know, it was just brilliant. And just walking around and seeing some of the things, I seen this most amazing bench for my garden. It was completely purple. It was all sparkly and glittery, and I absolutely fell in love with it. But when he told me it was 400 quid, I had to tell him I've got to save up a bit more money. Some of the things you could buy there were just out of this world. Some of the carvings, it was like a Viking throne that one man had been carved, and it was just absolutely brilliant, you know.
Yeah.
And you just don't see normal stuff like that round and about. It was just amazing.
So there was lots of stalls and things as well, selling things and all sorts by the sounds of it, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, you could pretty much buy anything and everything, you know. It's I think there was something like 130 stalls or something.
Really? That's big. Oh, here's one for you, Jane, from our Ames. Jane, any naked Vikings?
Might have been one or two. Don't think they're entirely naked, though. I did have a look.
Oh, Julie's not told me that one.
Well, a few of them walked past our stall, and I did have to have a bit of an ogle.
Okay, Von says, I would love to go to one. I saw a hand fastening ceremony at the weekend online. It was beautiful in the woods, so natural.
Yeah, and that's how it should be, I think.
Okay, Vivian says, I think there's still a lot of stigmatism with witchcraft, same as Satanism. Those who do not understand will always call it evil.
Yeah.
This is very true. But again, you see, people follow the textbooks, don't they, or what's been said in the past. And I got a little bit of it at the weekend, my weekend, but not too much. Because as soon as you mention our demon files, a couple of people, whoa, no, I don't want to be associated with you. That's wrong. You're Satanists.
Yeah.
But that's up to them. People do what they want to do, don't they?
Well, that just shows their lack of understanding in what we're doing, isn't it? Because when they automatically say that, they haven't took any time out to actually look what we're doing and how we're doing it.
Yeah. Von says, wow, I could do with one of those. What do you mean, naked Viking, Von?
Yeah. I might have to try and get one as my cleaner. You've missed a bit. Just bend over a bit more.
Disgusting. Amy says, hope you got it on film. No, I don't think she got it on film, Amy. I think she was too busy with the binoculars and falling out with Julie, who was having the binoculars next.
Too busy having an ogle.
So we'll conclude this bit about witches and paganism, then go on to my weekend, shall we?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think spiritualism, paganism, witchcraft, all the sort of earthy type of stuff? That's how I would describe it.
It's definitely on the rise. It's definitely on the increase. People don't want to be told about, people are finding their own way now. People are starting to look actually what does you know, God and Christianity and all that actually mean. And when you're drawn, when when I say you get this inner calling, you can't argue with that. It's one of the most natural things for our own soul to do this, and you know, to be outside, to be in nature, to give thanks to the Mother Earth for what she provides, our food, you know, and the animals and our clothing and all that sort of thing. You know, we can't keep taking and taking without giving back. And it only takes 1% of the population, 1% of people to sort of meditate and want to change things for the universe to actually listen and to respond.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so interesting. One says, Neil, it's not disgusting, it's beautiful. Amy says, think I need a naked Viking house cleaner too.
Yeah, just think. Perhaps you ought to start an agency up, Amy. I'm sure you'd make a bomb.
Okay then, we'll talk about my weekend for a bit now.
Swiftly moving on from naked Vikings.
We're swiftly moving from naked Vikings. There's nobody naked where I went. Vivian says, can I get one? I'm saying nothing. But hey, we'll have to have a naked Viking night at the centre. We'll be packed out, won't we?
We would. Yeah, ladies' night.
Amy says, now that's an idea, Jane.
Yeah, ladies' night, Viking.
a ladies' Viking night. They'll be packed out, wouldn't they? I'd make a fortune. We
won't need to open upstairs. We'll all be too busy looking at the Vikings to do any investigating.
One says, New Year's Eve at Flamborough for the Viking Festival makes my New Year perfect.
Yeah, because there was a Viking village as well, and that was really interesting.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's definitely stirs up some interest. Anyway, apart from these naked Vikings, tell us about your weekend.
They're still on about your naked Vikings here. Vivian wants to have a ticket. I think she wants to be front row.
VIP, yeah. Viv wants a front row seat.
Locked up, wouldn't it? Okay, my weekend. I went to Oak Raven in Gloucestershire. I'm still on about it, look. What says, I'm first in line. Vivian says, the Night of Ragnar, hell yes.
Oh, ding dong.
I think I'll just go and let you women talk about naked Vikings. I spent the weekend at a place called Oak Raven in Gloucestershire. Yeah. It was a lovely place, lovely location. I actually think it's got loads of rooms, but the rooms are in dormitories, right? So in one room there must have been 10 bunk beds, in another room there's 2 bunk beds and that sort of thing. So you stay in a dormitory. But
were you on the top bunk?
No, I had a room on my own because I was a guest speaker. Oh God. Amy says, I'll have sloppy seconds, thirds, and fourths.
Tell her to go and wash her mouth out with soap.
Straight into the gutter with Slaney. Really sniggering at that one. One says, Neil, are there Vikings there? No, no Vikings. Vivian says we could all share. What kind of people have we got on tonight?
I think that's a definite possibility.
Adrian says, think you'll need a bunch of Lokis. Oh, I'm just going to be a bit boring now. Talk about my weekend.
Oh, come on, we want to hear.
I went as a guest speaker for John Blackburn's weekend. He's been to the centre and he's a friend of ours. There's stuff going on. One says yes, please. And it says I'm crying, laughing. So am I. I'm just going to sound so boring. Okay, the weekend was called Opening of the Pandora's Box. So let Jane explain what Pandora's Box was, because I know you weren't there, but you know more about it than me.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact details, but Pandora's box with myth and legend is supposed to be a box that, if it was opened, unleashed all the sort of evil spirits and all the demons and stuff like that. So,
okay, I as I said, I went as a guest speaker. I talked about the centre and what we do. I did talk about our demon files. I don't know how well that went down, but I also talked about our methods of using Ouija boards, because and we find it with most people, don't we? They follow the rules on Ouija boards. And when I say, "Oh, we've got Ouija boards at the centre, we've never closed down," and they were sort of shocked. But I said, look, we question everything, don't we? Who said you have to close the Ouija board down? How did that become a rule?
yeah.
So we don't. And to be honest, have we experienced anything bad around the Ouija boards? I don't think we have.
Were they horrified that you never closed them down?
I think they were shocked, but when I explained during my talk why, I think they were coming round to it a bit more. But anyway, the Pandora's Box. Pandora's Box. I went to do a talk about the centre, but also to take 4 of our more negative items with us. Okay then. And it says all the rules, who made them. Exactly, Annette. Who says, we'll go back to Ouija boards, who says you have to close the Ouija board down? You don't close dowsing rods or pendulums or spirit boxes or anything else, but why are Ouija boards so special? Vivian says rules are made to be broken.
That's right.
If there's a rule there, we will break it. So Pandora's Box was it was a box with a chair in. This was Saturday night after I did my talk. It was a box made of black material. It was pitch black. John only used a red light, so no one could see a lot. And I put one of our haunted objects in with the person at the time, and they didn't know what the object was. And they just said what they was feeling or what they were sensing. And to be honest, the number of really accurate things that people were saying did shock me.
Mm.
And they hadn't got a clue what I took. They hadn't got a clue which ones I put in to the box with them. So I mixed them up. So, to be honest, it was a really good experiment. And I think something that we could do more of at the centre.
Yeah.
Now, I took the dark skull with me and put it in, and they were saying about the head, and they could feel the head, and they could feel something wrong with the bottom jaw, and that dark skull doesn't have a bottom jaw.
Yeah.
And they're saying things like this, and then I put the soil in from the grave, and the one lad who said he was a skeptic, he says he was picking up on Jack the Ripper. And this soil was supposedly from Jack the Ripper's grave. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And I took the doctor's bag. And people were saying they could see a tall man in Victorian London going through the streets in the dark. So quite a lot was really, really interesting.
Yeah, good.
Okay, let's still on about your night. Vivian says, I have a brilliant idea for Viking night. Naked Viking in the centre of a circle of 8 or 9 Ouija boards, depending on how big his hammer is. Red light optional. One says can't be in.
Oh. I might have to look more into this ladies' night up at the centre.
So what are you going to be using as the planchette?
I'm sure we'll find something. I'm sure we can improvise.
I'm sure you can. So my weekend was really good.
So you went there Friday and you came back Sunday?
Yes, I did.
You had 2 nights there. So was it sort of quite a busy place? Was there lots of people there? Was it a ticketed event or was it just private?
There were about 15 guests and me. So it was fairly quiet. They can get, I imagine there'll be enough to sleep about 30 there in the dormitories. It's an interesting place. It's in the middle of the Forest of Dean, I think it is.
Oh, yeah.
And there's outside, went into the woods, and there was a stone circle. This was an interesting bit. In the stone circle, we all stood inside in a circle inside the circle, and they were saying, they're picking up on these sort of entities outside, and they were coming towards the circle, and they weren't human. And of course, I thought, yeah, okay. And they were saying, well, whatever you do, don't break the circle. And you know what we're like. And I said, well, why? And I says, oh, it'd be dangerous. So I says, well, show me where they are. And I said, well, they're there. I said, okay, then I'm going to go towards them. He said, no, you can't do that. But I did. But nothing happened to me. I'm still here. So, but it was interesting. Okay, then let's read some more things about your comments. And it says, it's good to hear about different ideas. 2 men doing the same thing over and over. Yeah. Amy says, it would be hammered after I finish with it. Adrian says, it's okay. Us lads can stick with Pandora. Yeah, I think we'd have to. Vivian says, all jokes aside, John Blackburn is amazing. Really nice man. Always pushing boundaries. Yeah, John is a really nice bloke. He loves what we do at the centre. And I do thank him for inviting.
Did you say that they were coming up in March to visit the centre?
They've booked a night in March the 5th, I think it is. So if you want to work with John at the centre, it's March the 5th. One says, I would like to be on the testing panel, please. Also be interested in the intent and outcome. Sarah says, loving all the new stuff you've got coming up at the centre.
Yeah, cool. Let's talk
about some of the new stuff then.
Okay.
20 minutes. Okay. As you all know, as we announced last week, we are expanding. I was hoping it would be October 2nd when we open, but it looks like it's going to be the week after because solicitors are a pain in the backside. So it's about 3 weeks away, I think. The new stuff we've got coming up, we've got some special Christmas parties coming up.
Woohoo!
So you can come and have a Christmas party at the centre. There's going to be a buffet. We're going to investigate the centre. There's going to be mediumship readings or tarot readings for everyone by whatever way it is. I don't know. Mediumship or tarot readings by our lovely Jane. Going to be a good night, and then we're going to have a special guest to give you a present.
Can it be Thor? But Amy will be a bit Thor after.
No, our special guest will be fully clothed.
Oh.
Julie's sniggering. She wants it in Naked Viking as well. Okay, if I have a Naked Viking, will you buy tickets?
Absolutely. I'll buy 3.
So we're going to be doing them the last week in November, all through December, and the first week in January. So if you want a Christmas party with a difference, book on. Well worth the money. Also, we're having movie and seance nights. They're coming up. We're going to have candlelit tours of the centre, because I know some people would like to have a tour of the centre but not interested in an investigation. So we're going to do candlelit tours, because I think they're going to be quite spooky. Next year, Janie's going to bring her medium guided meditation nights back.
Yep.
So looking forward to them. Are you doing your open circles as well?
Hoping to. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how the timetable fits in. When we're going to do it.
Well, from
because you'll still be doing the afternoon teas, won't you? They're very popular.
Yeah, they're all carrying on. We're going to change the law of time. We're going to have 8-day week, and there's going to be 500 days in the year. Simple.
Yeah, it should be no problem.
Time's bad made anyway, isn't it? Okay then. Okay, Caroline says, "What's the haunted doll's name, please?" I think that. Do you mean that one in the Sun today? She hasn't got a name actually. She hasn't got a name. We ought to give her a name, Jane.
Yeah, we'll have to see if she wants to give us a name.
Yeah. Vivian says plus a Viking night.
Yeah.
Amy says it's a Pope and Nazi sex slave. Oh yes. Caroline says all be amazing, and then Vivian, a pirate night as well, Neil.
Yeah.
Has that got to be naked pirates as well?
Oh no, that's farmers. No, oh, that's from. Oh my God.
Oh, you've seen Jane in a new light tonight. mentioned naked Vikings, and she was to pop.
Alcohol unnecessary.
Caroline says Melissa. Well, we will call her Melissa until see if what she says. Excuse me. We might actually do a live feed on it now, because it's been in the paper.
Yeah.
Okay, it's only the Sun, but it's in a bit of the paper.
Oh, somebody still reads it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I suppose so. So, any more comments? So, I think that's about my weekend. Oh, I did come home with 2 new haunted dolls from John, a doctor and a nurse.
Are they up at the centre or are they in your house?
No, they're not in my house. They're in the boot of the car at the minute. He says they're quite negative. So they are still in the boot of the car. We've also got some shrapnel and some shells from bullets from a beach in Norfolk that a lady gave to me. I thought that'd be interesting in the watering. Adrian says, cater for everyone, invite the village people. I'm thinking more like, I'm going to show my age now. I'm thinking more like Pan's people. You remember them from Top the Pops?
Yeah.
Okay, Vivian says, what is your favourite item at the centre? Let's start with you, Jane, first.
Oh, I think for me it's still the big mirror. There's still so much mystery around that. Still so much work we've got to do with that. There's just still so much we don't understand.
Yeah. I'm going to go for something different. I would say, I'm going to say Bob's Clown.
Ah.
Because Bob will always be special to us. And let's not forget the picture, the first item I ever worked with Haunted Antiques, the picture that's in the tea room. That's special to us as well. So, but I would say Bob's Clown. Adrian says Legs and Co. Yeah, they came after. They came after.
Yeah, they came after, didn't they?
Ames says, don't forget you have 2 new swords in the war room too. Yes, we do. I'm looking forward to seeing them. So it says, do you know anyone that could maybe do a bit of an overview of crystals at the centre? Just something I'm quite keen to learn about.
Might be able to do some basics. I've got a basic sort of understanding of crystals, but
I'm sure we could
it's something that we can look at. It's definitely something that we can look at.
Yeah. There's something else we're going to start in November is an introduction to the paranormal. We did it years ago, didn't we, Jane?
Yeah.
We're going to have nights called Introduction to the Paranormal. We're going to be 3 different levels. So the first one is just the basics. What to think about when you're first starting out investigating. You will get a certificate as well. It don't mean anything because it's from us, but it just shows that you've attended this introduction. Vivian says, do you take things on loan? We take anything, Vivian. Where it's on loan, we've got a few items on loan. So yes, we do. Then she says, Carrie Greenaway is good with crystals.
Yeah, she is. She's very, very knowledgeable. I think she's quite busy though, isn't she? She runs her own little business. She also does a lot of work with the radio and stuff. So she's, I know she's a very busy lady, and she is very, very knowledgeable. I mean, it would be good if she could come over and do something. But I know she's a very busy lady.
Yeah, Caroline says Cat Wills knows everything about crystals. That's okay. Interesting. We're also going to start doing guest speakers. We're going to invite a guest speaker once a month, perhaps, or depends how busy we are, to come and talk about different things. I know Penny has already said she'll come back, and next talk is about the workhouses.
Yeah. And you're also still quite keen to do the movie nights, aren't you?
Yes, we're going to do movie and seance nights, so they're going to be good fun. And of course, the Parameet's coming back.
Yes.
Once a month. I think it'll be the first Saturday of the month. We are going to, not invite, but we're going to welcome anyone from a small team to a big team who are interested in paranormal to come along, just to chat to each other, to get to know each other. And if you form friendships and you want to go out investigating together, which what happened before, isn't it? Before the lockdown. Yeah. Because we talk to people, but we don't meet people. No, look at Amy. Amy is a prime example. I was friends with Amy for years on Facebook, never met her until she came to a Parameet. And now look at her. We can't get rid of her.
Yeah, and it was great, wasn't it? Because people used to sit with each other, chatting. They'd share information on locations and venues and investigating different methods and different ideas with doing all that, and they'd be discussing equipment and all that sort of thing and different experiments. And it was great to just see people getting on and just sharing all that information.
Yeah, because we don't do that enough in the field, do we?
No.
Vivian says, I will call you about the items, Neil. That's the private convert. Okay, Vivian, thank you. Von says, that will be interesting. Then Vivian says, I can come if you want, Neil. Okay, send me a message, Vivian, and we can talk about it. Caroline says, such good stuff coming to the museum. Yes, it is. It's very exciting. And we can do all these now because we're going to have more room.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of work we've got to do before we open, but And that says workhouses will be good. Not much available about them. All was shoved away like they never happened. I think Penny's been researching quite a lot because she knows some things about the workhouse in Hinckley. Yeah, we did have a workhouse.
Yeah.
Facebook user, I don't know who you are. Do you remember the first time you met me? Tell me who you are and I'll tell you.
And of course, one of the other things that's going to change quite a bit is the actual shop, isn't it, in the centre? And you're going to go for how many cabinets have you got at the moment?
I think there's just over 30. What, at the minute in the shop now?
Yeah.
There's 15, but we're going to have well over 30, perhaps 35 cabinets. It's going to be full of Jane stuff. Jane is going to be making stuff from the witch's workshop.
Yeah.
Amy is making her resin stuff. Julie is selling her gifts that she gets in. And we've got quite a few craft people who actually make stuff. So they're all coming into the shop. And we've got antique dealers putting stuff in the cabinets.
Yeah, so the shop is just going to double in size easily, and there's going to be so many amazing things in the cabinets, and I think that's going to be, you know, it's going to be open 6 days a week, isn't it, rather than just on Saturday?
It is, yeah. Okay, Facebook uses Bloss. How can I ever forget the first time I met you, Bloss? We struck up on this special friendship from day one, didn't we? And it's always a pleasure when you come up. We have some good laughs. I don't get too close to Bloss because she's got a stick and she hits me. No, I don't think she has yet, but she probably will do one day. Bloss is happy that we're going to have ground floor though. I'm sure she is. Sarah says, will the shop be open every day? It'll be open 6 days a week. We're going to have Sundays off. Vivian says, that shop sounds amazing. Okay, having said that, we know we've got lots of people with crafts in. If anyone watching does crafts or anything like that, make stuff, and they would like to rent a cabinet off us, that is possible. All you have to do is contact Julie. Bloss says easy. Then she says, yes, no stairs. No stairs. No stairs, Bloss. And your chair will be waiting for you. So, of course, Saturdays at the centre will be different because at the minute in the tea room stroke shop, it's a tea room with a bit of shop. When we expand, it'll be a shop with some tables in. It'll be the other way around. It'll be primarily a shop. But we will still be doing the tours on Saturdays.
I mean, we're fortunate enough, aren't we, that even in the daytime you can make the centre quite dark upstairs.
Yeah, it'll be dark, and that's. I'm looking forward to doing the candlelit tours because we can make them quite spooky, can't we?
Yeah.
And I mentioned earlier about the Christmas parties. They're not going to be like your normal Christmas party. They're going to be spooky Christmas parties. Because our special guest that I've got lined up is quite spooky.
Ooh.
And when he comes out, it will be pitch black.
Ooh.
I've got plans. I've got plans for all you lot that come. So if you want a Christmas party with a difference, go onto the app. All the dates are on the app now, and you can buy the tickets off there. Vivian says, yay, Neil is going to be Krampus. Well, you'll have to wait and see. I'm not that bad, am I? Bloss says, is he safe with a naked flame?
About as safe as Amy is with a naked Viking.
anything. I should be as safe as Amy is with a staple gun. So yeah, blimey, it's 5-2.
Yeah.
Then Bloss says, "No, then." I might have to use an artificial one. Vivian says, "Floss, it's all about Vikings tonight." I think she means Bloss. Amy says, "Neil, don't even need to dress." I'll take that comment off straight away. Don't even need to dress up as Krampus. Thanks, Ames. So yeah, we have got lots and lots coming up. We just need the keys now.
Yeah.
Hopefully Friday. Fingers crossed. They give us 2 weeks to get everything sorted. Because some of the rooms upstairs are changing, aren't they, Jane?
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
going to be really special. So
Yeah. Well, we like to take it up a bit.
Yeah. Bloss says, "See you on the 9th." Good. So yeah, any final comments from you, Jane? Apart from don't mention naked Vikings.
No, I think it's. I think there's just so much to look forward to, and it's just nice to see everybody commenting in positive moods and just being hopeful and it's just great. We've got everything to work for, and it just when you see people's comments and people are happy and like what we do, it just makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, it's nice because On says, "Up with the Vikings." No, I'm not going to be a naked Viking on the Christmas parties. But if you all buy tickets to them, I'll perhaps get you one.
Ooh.
Vivian says, "Thank you, Neil and Jane. You two always lift my mood." Oh, thank you.
Oh, good. I'm glad we do.
Bloss says, "Will be amazing." Annette says, "All sounds great." Plus, we got all these live feeds and all sorts coming up. Jane and I will eventually get around to doing our new series that we'll be talking about for.
But it may be the new year now, realistically. It may be the new year now with all the new shop and everything coming up and so many other things being planned. So,
okay. Ames says, "I'll be down with the Vikings." Vivian says, "Trust me, Viking night will be a sellout." Oh, God. What sort of people? If we do a Viking night, I ain't coming,
Well, you won't have to. Me and Amy it'll be perfectly safe with me and Amy, and Julie will be there as well. So we'll all be having
I know Julie will be there. So yeah, if you really want us to do something like a Viking night, let me know.
Why not?
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
And that says, "I'll have to come. Not Viking night. It will be in the papers." Ames says, "Damn right, it will be good with us girls." Oh yeah. Okay, Caroline says, "This has been amazing as always. Thank you so much, Neil and Jane. Good night, everyone."
Oh, good night, Caroline.
Vivian's getting all excited about the Viking night. Do it, do it, do it.
Yeah.
Fon says, "There best not only be one Viking. I'm not sharing."
No, we'll have to have a look again, a few in.
Julie's sniggering behind me. She's getting all hot under the collar, I reckon. I think she needs a cup of tea, cool it down a bit. Adrian says, "Poor Kirk Douglas is going to be as busy as a guest speaker."
Was he a Viking?
Yeah, he was in Vikings, wasn't he? Oh, was that
Kirk
before
Douglas.
Kirk Douglas, yeah, in the Vikings with Tony Curtis.
Oh, I thought that was Spartacus. I thought that was the Romans.
No, he was the Vikings.
Oh, okay. I don't mind. I like Kurt Douglas and Tony Curtis.
Amy says, I don't want to share it. She's such a tart, our Amy. Vivian says, if you need help looking at Vikings, me and Mom will help.
We'll have to get plenty of mead in that night.
Oh, God. I thought it was Spartacus. He was in Spartacus, but he was also in the film called Vikings. Tony
I'm
Curtis had his
Spartacus, and so is my wife.
Tony Curtis had his hand cut off, didn't he?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking more of like the life of Brian bit. I'm Brian. But they'll stand up and go, I'm Spartacus, I'm Spartacus. And then it was in Life of Brian, wasn't it, where they did it again, and he goes, I'm Brian, and so is my wife or something. Can't be a bit of Monty Python.
No, one says, I won't need alcohol. Caroline says, yes, Spartacus, I thought too. Vivian says, don't forget there are many men with beards around. Let me know if you want us to organise it. We'll organise a Vikings night just for you ladies out there. Yeah. Okay, gone 10 o'clock, Jane. We're on overtime. I ain't paying you overtime.
No. No. But yeah, thank you everyone for all your comments, all your input, and we will definitely see about some things, a Viking night, pagan night. But I can't guarantee that we can sacrifice any virgins, because I don't think there is any in England.
No, there won't be many in England now. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Walls